I like that. I want to give a quick shout out to StreamYard for finally putting some music in there. After I've spent months trying to find some uncopyrighted music so we could put into this show.
I told you where to find it.
Well, no, yes.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am one half of your host, Andrew Faubert. The other half is to my left or right, depending on which angle you're looking at, Mr. Alex Lusmo. How we doing?
Doing well, man. How are you?
I'm grooving, man. I'm loving this.
I'm grooving, man.
And the man below us, back, as you can see, that is not plywood. That is new TVs for his living room.
No, it's my new desk. It doesn't have legs yet. It's named Lieutenant Dan. IKEA didn't have the legs for it, so I bought the desk and named it Lieutenant Dan.
I'm loving that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to North Sports Dynasty. Give us a like, give us a share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. We got Dynasty, Fantasy, off-season mock drafts, player rankings. We got it all. Oh, what's the matter, Chris? You good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I didn't realize. I just put that in. I didn't realize that was a private chat for us. I thought that was the.
No, you're good. No worries.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give us a follow. Follow Bucks Report. Partner with us here at NSD, giving you guys all the off-season content that you need. We also talk, of course, the Buccaneers, the Detroit Lions, and when our analysts come in, like we got here with Chris Woroschuk, our NSD analyst for the Arizona Cardinals. That is why he doesn't look at
Fuck.
Very upset, but
man, I've calmed down a lot since. But Tuesday was an angry day too. Tuesday I was like, fuck. If I wake up and Cliff has a job, I'm done.
To be honest, I sat there only because I know a Rams fan and I know, obviously a Cardinals fan, and I'm good friends with both of them. And I was like, I don't want to play any of them, really. and the Rams fan, his wife is best friends with my fiance, so I basically you can't even talk to her for a week. That I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to text her one time on Monday, be like, hey, we'll talk after Sunday. Love you, bye. It's like, yeah, that's right. You tell that Ram fan where to go, motherfucker. Anyway, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking the AFC NFC playoff matchups. I got my picks, and I'll be throwing them down there in the comment section here in a few. We're going to talk about the head coach and GM search. Who gets who? Who gets who?
I was wondering if you were going to use that, actually.
I like that. Who gets who? Who gets who? All right, I'm turning this off. I'm gonna just jam the whole damn time.
You're way too distracted by it.
I'm way too distracted by it. Yeah, we'll be talking who gets who, GM search, and head coaching search. Talk about the quarterback carousel a little bit here as well. The open market and the nice fits. That was a Skrillex drop there.
Oh.
If you caught that one. Some music Easter eggs in the titles today. I like it. And of course we got NSD, NSD Cardinals analyst, Chris Woroschuk. There we go. Now that I'm back. The first thing, before we get into that, let me get to these picks here. Let me just get them up on the screen, on the banner, because I went actually through today, and I looked, and there was some actually some pretty nice lines out there. I'm taking the Bengals at the +4 for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Green Bay at -5.5 because you didn't draft him, and now you will have to pay.
I'm not.
I know.
I think that's. I think that line. I don't like how high that line is. I like Green Bay to win, but I don't like how high that line is.
I also agree.
I still think they'll take it, but I just that 5.5 is intimidating.
It's the whole touchdown would be
But basically, I got Green Bay and San Francisco being tight until about midway through the third, and then Green Bay is just going to pull ahead. That's how I feel it's going to happen.
As of a lot of Buccaneer fans will see there, I got the Rams +3 -125. I'm not comfortable with this game. Not comfortable with this game at all, to be completely honest with you. I got some player props in there. Joe Burrow to throw 3 TDs is +160. Patrick Mahomes throwing 3 TDs is money. Like, what? I don't understand that at all. And then my nice little soft one, they did.
Yeah.
Bodog did not allow me to go over 80, which I really wanted to. I know somewhere I could probably search for it and do that. And it'd probably give me like +900 odds. But I figured both of these teams are getting 4 touchdowns. That's just me. And then one of these teams or both of these teams are both going to kick a field goal, or it's going to go to overtime based off of the other touchdowns that these guys will score. I think it's over a 30-point game for each of them anyway. So give me the over 62.5.
Yeah, I got that game on over as well. The only game I have under for the over-under is the Bucks.
Yeah, I don't want to touch the Bucks.
50 something.
The Buccaneers one?
Yeah, I don't even have to pull it up.
46 or 48? Between 46 and 48.
I think it was 48, I think, because I remember it being close to 50. Like, it was right around that 50. I can pull it up. Well, I'm just going off of what my playoff pool uses, whatever they use, but
of course.
The Bucks are 48.5. Yeah, so I had that as under.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
Everything else I had over, except for that, I have under. Everything else I think will be high scoring.
I think that one's kind of close personally. I'm still hitting the under on that, but
yeah, I think they'll be in that like low 40s, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The same thing with Tennessee. Like the Tennessee Cincinnati game, like I think it'll be a respectively high scoring game, but why I don't like it when we don't talk about teams. And that's what was supposed to happen with Cincinnati, but everybody hopped on the Cincinnati train.
I mean, I like Cincinnati to put up 35 points on their own, so that's why I said 47. That's why I said over for 47.5. I think Cincinnati's going to come out fucking swinging, go up early, and then like Tennessee will play, but they're not going to be able to overcome what they dug themselves by by halftime.
No, they're going to have to let Derrick Henry run it 35 times.
Yeah, if you put the ball in Tannehill's hands, you're screwed. If Tannehill has to win you this game, you're not winning it.
Yeah.
Though the player props on Tannehill getting 3 touchdowns was like +200, I think, and I'm like,
I don't like that.
Intriguing, but it's not gonna unless you're gonna pass it to Derrick Henry, but that's also not gonna work.
Yeah, it's like all you have to do is throw like 2 guys on AJ Brown, and your passing game's toast.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like the idea of the Bengals this weekend. I do covering. I hate when we don't talk about teams and no one's talking about the Titans and they're a number 1 seed for a reason. Why the fuck aren't we talking about the Titans?
Let's time out. They're the number 1 seed because Kansas City decided to shit the bed midway through the season, then find themselves again at the tail end there. The second third of the season, though, the Kansas City was not playing well.
You are correct.
If Kansas City played the way Kansas City plays, Kansas City is number 1 seed as per usual.
And then
they had an off, 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever.
And Tennessee would be playing Buffalo, I guess, right now.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee would be Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still have Tennessee. You have the same teams, just different seeding. I think the same teams. I had the same 4 teams in the top of the AFC, right from from the get go, pretty much.
Yeah, before the Super Bowl, I think either the Pro Bowl week or right after the Super Bowl, me and Alex will do our last season predictions and what we said, what we got right and what we got wrong type thing. What Colin Cowherd does.
9-8.
Yeah,
I was like, I did pick the Final 4 NFC teams though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You still went. You still put
the only one that I think was worse than that was the Cowboys only winning 6 games. So
yeah, I had a couple bad ones in there too.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Yeah.
Or that would have been a hot take at the time, I guess.
Fucking
Now
Cowboys,
it's an
man.
ice cold take.
Cowboys need to do something. A couple of shout outs here.
They need to fire
Did you see Dak finally admit that was entirely his fault? That was funny.
Yep.
It took him like 3 days. He's like, this is all my fault. I'm like, yeah, well, actually, yeah.
And then starts going at shouldn't say going at, but he starts making those comments where, the fans are throwing it at the referees and he's like,
yeah, this was after he made those comments. Like 2 days ago, he was like, this was all my fault. I'm like,
yeah,
there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Taking ownership. Though, like, Dak is a good quarterback. I don't mind Dak. I think this situation.
I didn't like the way he reacted to I didn't like the,
yeah, screw that.
Oh, you're throwing at the rest? Okay, good. Like,
yeah. No,
I
straight
didn't
up.
like that at all.
But also at the same time, I do like his leadership where he does take accountability. Like, it is just good to see quarterbacks and multi-million-dollar athletes just in general coming out being like, yeah, no, that's my fault. I apologize for the words that I said. I don't need this to be, necessarily hanging over the whole entire organization. This is my fault. Blame it on me. Put it on me. If you don't put it on me, you're a fucking idiot type thing. And I'm like, Dak, that's my boy. Like, hey, respect you. Come to the Bucks if they don't want you after Brady's gone. I'll take you.
Yeah.
You go. We have the same wide receiving core when it's all healthy, buddy. Don't you worry. So, Mark says, go Bucks. Good to, I know, right? It was nice. So thank you, StreamYard, for that. I really do like that song. Where's Mr. 55 living?
I'm in Edmonton.
Yeah. He's up there too with us. Yeah, he's a diehard Cardinals fan. Like, since the first day I met him.
I almost didn't own a TV at halftime on Monday. We were very close. We were very, very close to not owning a television. And I was just like, oh, this is brutal.
What is the status on Buddha? Is Buddha doing okay?
Buddha's good. He got released from hospital, I think, on Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon. He's supposed to make a full recovery. Nothing bad. So that's good.
Yeah,
it was it
ended up being just a pretty wicked concussion, right?
Yeah. And just the positioning of where he got hit just made his body kind of be like, I'm done. We're done playing football. Full reset. Like,
we're not doing this today. Sorry.
No, he's good. He put a video on his Instagram on Tuesday from hospital. He's like, I'm good. He's like, I just want to get home. He was in good spirits.
Of course. He's a great player. Like,
great
Buddha
player.
is
fantastic player. Like, that could have been. Well, me and a friend of mine were chatting on Monday night, like after that happened, and he's like, man, it's such a weird position to be in for you at, like, when that injury happens, because you're worried about the player first and foremost. You're worried about, like, you don't want to see a guy have a spinal injury or a potential, life-threatening, whatever it ended up being. Like, he's like, and then you're like, he's like, but like long-term, like, sports fan, you're worried, like, is my safety permanently damaged, and like my all-pro safety permanently damaged forever, right? Yeah. And he's like, I'm like, I just hope he's all right, and then we'll figure out if he can still play football in a couple of weeks. Kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. That's always
it's like I said, it sounds like he's gonna be fine. Perfect. We don't have football this week, so he's got lots of time to recover.
Dude, that was the one thing. Like, I went straight to Facebook because I knew you would say something too. But as soon as I saw that,
immediately I stopped caring about the game. I was just like, I don't give a fuck about this game anymore. I'm done.
I was like, like, now it's basically official, and no disrespect. It was like, just the way that the score was and how everything was going. If you were looking for that momentum shift, that was not going to help. Definitely not going to help. So, I just think
unless the only reason it might have helped is if somebody would have grabbed Cam Akers and fucking beat the shit out of him on the sideline.
Yeah, and
I also fully believe that, like, he didn't realize what was going on. Like, I kind of felt bad for him because he's getting shit on by, everybody for taunting. I'm like, hey, but like in a normal, like, if he wasn't hurt, he's just like, stay down. Like, fuck, like I do that in baseball when a guy dives.
Buddy,
you don't know that a guy's fucking. That a guy's permanently fucked up. He's walking away. He's not even looking at the player. He's like, stay down, whatever. He turns around. He's like, oh, fuck, that's some unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
Alex,
I felt bad for Akers a bit because he got shit on by the announcers, by the Cardinals team themselves, and the fans. And it's just like, man, like, hold on. Take a step back. I understand we're all mad right now, but he didn't mean this. Like, you know.
Yeah, Alex is an offensive lineman, and Alex would do the same thing. Like if someone was coming off the edge and stuff like that, and they went down and he got a pancake, he's gonna get up and stare at him a little bit.
Yeah,
If Buddy Guy doesn't get up 10 seconds after that, the game mentality then leaves, and the real life situation comes in. Cam Akers thought it was a good hit on both ends. That's all. So when he's
just like, stay down. He's like, stay down. Like, you're done.
He didn't know. And then he turns around and
he's not even looking. If you look at the footage, he's not even looking at Budda Baker. He's looking at the huddle. He's walking to the huddle. He's like, yeah, fuck you, whatever, right?
And then as soon as everyone's attention goes to the player on the ground, that's when he goes, wait, what? And you see him turn around, and there's a little bit of a scuffle, and he's yelling at everybody. He's like, I didn't know. You even hear someone say mentality of game, dude. And I was like, thank you. Like, thank you. You know when it's malicious. Like, we as the fans know when it's malicious. Put the Saints and Buccaneers playing against each other. That's the reason why people think the Devin White hit on Jameis Winston was dirty, for example. They're like, well, you know, they're always right. This, I'm like, you got to settle down with that. That didn't happen at all. So, Johnny Dean, who's doing all the heavy breathing? Sounds like a per phone call. I like it.
That was when we first booted up. I was like, who the fuck? I'm like, I don't think it's me.
It could have been me too. I could have been right up on the mic, just like, yeah. Hi, everybody. That could have been me. Yeah. Michelle and Blum, go Bucks. Hells yeah, go Bucks. We are, I was going to say, almost 24 hours away. We're about, 24 hours and 42 minutes away, 41 minutes and somewhat seconds away from kickoff. Chris has got the Twitch stream down in the comment section. So to the fans who are a lot of us, actually, there's a lot of people who have been tuning in on Twitch now lately, or just playing games and doing stuff. So if you guys are on Twitch, go watch it from there. Cal Yacey, buddy, thank you for tuning in. Says Bengals, Packers, Bills, and Rams. The Bengals, man. I'm not betting.
I don't know what to think about that game, to be honest. Like,
I'm just not betting it. I want to put money down on the Bengals to win. I really do, because there's a very good chance, but I'm not committed to that at all.
That'd be a good game.
It's gonna be actually
that's what I'm really excited for. Like I said, I think the Bengals go up early, like not by like a ton of points, but by a touchdown, maybe 10 points or so, and then it's just like, and then they just keep rolling, and Tennessee will just not be able to catch up, even if they get their offense going. That it'll be too much of a hole to get caught up in.
Also, at the same time, too, it could also be the battle of the running backs in this game. Like,
Joe Mixon rushed for over 1,000 yards.
Yep.
I thought I read somewhere Mixon is not playing today or this weekend.
I will look into that.
If that be the case, I'm definitely not betting on this game.
Going on Twitter right now. He posted on Twitter 27 minutes ago, let's ride. So maybe I'm wrong. I swore I read that he wasn't playing today.
Let's ride to the bench, because I'm not playing this weekend.
Hold on, Joe Mixon. Let's try that, because I kept getting a bunch of Spanish stuff.
Joe Mixon,
I did too.
was a very good draft pick when he came out. Still a very good player, just in general.
Still a very good running back. Yeah, I like Joe Mixon a lot.
And the one thing, Johnny in the comments just said Mixon is playing. So
Mixon is playing. Okay, well, there you go. I don't know where the hell I read that. I read he wasn't playing, and I was like, oh, that's not good. But he's still
taken a day off practice.
I really like, regardless of Mixon playing or not, I really like Joe Burrow.
Yeah. No, and
right?
that's
and like you said, if you got to put the game in Tannehill's hands, they're done. But Joe can go out there and win, even if they put the game in Henry's hands. Joe can go out there and win the football game.
So that's what I was going to say, is there's the two different sides of each and one of theirs offense. Is if you got to put it in Tannehill's hands, like if he's playing a subpar team or subpar defense to, low tier defense, sure, you might actually do pretty good. We've seen him do that against not top tier, but mid tier to low tier defenses. Joe Burrow, on the other hand, he can put it in Joe Mixon's hand, and it becomes a running game that they got to stop. He can put it in Joe Burrow's hand and let him throw it, and then it becomes an air raid that you got to stop. And most defenses don't have both blends of that. Actually, I think one of the best defenses in the league for that was Philadelphia, and they just got eliminated. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the Bengals have some pretty, that's not the greatest, but there's some pretty good depth at wide receiver. Like, if they do have to turn the passing game, they're not in a bad situation to do that.
You got three good receivers.
Yeah, right? Like, they're not, like you said, they're not all superstars. Like, Chase is obviously a superstar, but like Boyd he's up. He's a good number two.
Yeah.
right?
Boyd's one of the best slot receivers in the game right now, I would say.
Slot receiver, I'm saying like he's not a number one receiver though. Like if you put him in that number one role, he wouldn't be there. But exactly, Boyd and Higgins both are good complementary pieces to that offense.
Not to mention CJ Uzama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why Alex was even coming at me in the offseason when we were doing mock drafts. He had more in his mock drafts of Jamar Chase at Cincinnati that I did, because I just like, I don't see it. Like I
couldn't see it either because I felt like you got to protect Joe Burrow. Their offensive line was bad.
I was like,
bad.
Like Rashawn Slater's
smart,
there.
they do that, but
yeah. Alex was more on the Rashawn Slater. He's like, if you put Slater on the Bengals, all of a sudden Joe Burrow's leg can heal. And I'm like, I agree.
Like, I saw a meme after it was like immediately after they drafted Chase, and it was the Ralph Wiggum meme, and it was like Joe Burrow's other ACL when he sees they didn't take a lineman in the first round. He's like, I'm in danger. I'm like, you are actually.
But the offensive coordinator just turned around and was like, so we're just going to make you a mobile quarterback for some of these games now. And he's like, do you not see my fucking, sure, why not? You're
I mean, having a quarterback and a wide receiver that have played together already, like before the NFL, doesn't hurt. Like I understand the logic behind drafting Chase. I just don't understand the logic behind not protecting your superstar quarterback.
That's why
it's a catch-22.
I'm interested to see what Jacksonville does for a head coach, which we will get to the head coaching candidates here in a few. But I want to see what happens there. I know James Robinson's a fucking god. Like I still love what James Robinson can bring to a team and to the Jags. But that chemistry between Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence might actually be, like, for dynasty purposes too next year for PPR leagues. Trevor's just going to be like, nope, fuck it.
Yeah.
Nope, fuck it. Like almost the entire time, I think. So Christopher Cole says, hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in today, buddy. Good to see you. Jameson Young, go Bucks from York, Pennsylvania. Wow, we got some new guys coming in today. Good to see. Kabila says wrong. I'm not sure what am I wrong about? I'm wrong about a lot of things. Come on now. 5.5 too much. That's what it was wrong. I think so. But I still like it. Sean Spencer, what's up, North Sports Dynasty? Keep doing big things, showing love from Let's Talk Football. Yes, thank you very much, Sean. Everybody go check him out too. He's a big Washington fan. I know they got some Falcon fans on there, some Cowboy fans, some Steeler fans on there. They're basically doing what NSD does. They just got the other blend of the other teams that are out there too. So big things happening out there, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to tune in to Sean Spencer and Let's Talk Football and all the cool cats that they got down there. Jameson Young says Tennessee to win, San Francisco wins. Ooh.
No, I don't like San Francisco to win at all.
I
like them to keep it close, but I like it's.
If there's any team,
have San Fran.
Yeah, no. I know. And if there's any team that's going to beat Green Bay, like in the second round, I think it can be San Fran. Just because I think if it has to be the Bucs and the Packers again, that's going to be a fucking shootout. And I'm not.
Jimmy G's never played in a game with single-digit weather. Let's just also put that out there.
I'd seen that. I also seen.
And it might snow. And it might snow in Green Bay.
Wait.
Niners have won 3 in a row in the playoffs against the Packers. Wow. And you've got Deebo Samuel, which is essentially becoming a mid-tier running back.
Don't say that because, like, that for dynasty purposes, what about Elijah Mitchell? I need him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need Deebo Samuel to take carries away from him.
I think Deebo Samuel is going to get close to 200 all-purpose yards today.
Ooh. Oh, is that game today?
Yeah, they just used the shit. Yeah, it's tonight. They just used the shit out of Deebo for everything. I remember watching last week. I was like, man, they'll just do whatever they want. Like, fuck, here you go.
Well, the Packers have a terrible run defense, so if you put Deebo as your running back, that's a damn good offensive line to run behind.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, just because we're talking about Deebo Samuel, I would be remiss if I didn't say me and Alex and a few of us have obviously been doing our off-season player rankings and looking at these rookies and stuff like that for not only just dynasty purposes. We also do this just for the mock drafts, which we got some cool stuff coming in for the mock drafts. We got a new way that we're going to do it this year. And I'm pretty sure the prize is just going to be a jersey, an NFL jersey of your choice. So, get ready to basically try and predict it better than us. Remember, Alex won last year. Alex technically got 8 out of the first 32 draft picks correct. Draft team and player. This year would be a little bit different, so make sure stay tuned for the new rebranding, all the logos and stuff coming in about 2 to 3 weeks because I got a couple more.
Can we talk about that awful trade you sent me that I think you immediately pulled back 4 days ago?
From which league?
This league, the North League.
What did I send you there? Because I just literally
a bunch of 4 bombs basically.
Oh yeah,
for Pittman, a 3rd and a 4th.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you came to your senses and took it back or what? Because I didn't decline.
Well, no, because I made trades other places. I ended up getting Kadarius Toney with some of those pieces that I sent you.
I had who was it? Was it Rob? Somebody
finally
this morning.
Finally got Laviska Shenault the fuck off my team.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, you're not dumping him here.
Yeah,
no.
I had Rob message me this morning, and what did he offer me? He's like, "Hey, would you trade Pittman for Osborne or Patrick?" I was like, no.
I've got a big trade waiting in the wings. Just got to see what happens with a couple players before it gets accepted. Massive trade.
I hate that. I hate when we do because like here's the thing. Like in North Sports Dynasty
I had
League,
a trade for Alex. I'm pretty sure.
In North Sports Dynasty League, I have like everything set up now. Like for the draft, like I have my bench spots, and all that kind of stuff. I have like I'm set. Like I'm ready to go for the next season. There's only a couple of players that I have on my trade block that I'm still willing to trade.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I put Ruggs in the trade block this morning in case
I
saw that.
Almost laughed at that and was just like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Just in case anybody's interested, might get some points in the prison league. We'll see.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was just like, by the way, this was Henry Ruggs' twin brother the whole time. Ruggs was actually just dealing with depression from playing with the Raiders and stayed home, and it was his brother that took the whole blame. So now Henry Ruggs is making a full return to the NFL to play
and he's signing with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I was going to say he's signing as a slot receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No. He's a criminal. He's signing with the Dallas Cowboys.
Or back with the Raiders again.
Oh yeah. But definitely not. So hold on one second. Where are we here? Kyle Yacy, the Washington Admirals, United, Red Wolves, Red Hogs represent. Much love, Sean. I like that. I still
when's that announcement? Next weekend?
That's on
February
the 2nd.
Okay, so next a week or so, a little over a week.
Someone on Reddit apparently dropped the logo, I think it was, and it got taken down like right quick. So I'm gonna see if I can find that again.
The betting
Rams suck. I agree. The Rams suck. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm bitter.
I thought about just being the ultimate troll and wearing that Stafford Rams jersey I got from that random box earlier this year. I thought about it, but I was like, no.
Listen, you start doing shit like that, I'm gonna have to start buying Michigan State gear.
If you want to waste your money on that garbage, go for it.
I like that. Wasting.
I'll buy Ohio State gear.
I was like, that's not really wasting your money. So
no, but it would piss you off.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the other Michigan team? There's a player that I was looking at from another Michigan.
8 Michigan teams.
Yeah, hold on.
Like Michigan State, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan.
There was another. Oh yeah, Western Michigan. It's a wide receiver. That Sky Moore guy I was looking at the other day. He looks pretty good too.
Don't wear the jersey. Don't listen to this guy. Don't wear the jersey.
It's at 48 according to DraftKings. Oh wow.
Ben, of course, Ben's saying I should wear it.
Don't wear the jersey.
Stafford. I was gonna say we'll get down there.
He's gonna break you guys. I doubt it.
Have this.
I doubt it. They don't. I'm sorry.
Good seeing you, Alec. Thanks for tuning in. He's been actually pretty quiet in the trade.
Kansas City will lose to the Bills. Bold prediction.
I want the Bills to win it so bad.
I do not
want the Bills to win it.
I don't either. But you don't want the Bills to win? Like what the hell?
Not at all. And for solely selfish reasons. My best friend's a Bills fan, and he won't shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay, that's
so. I just need the Bills to lose. That's just it.
I can't. I've told Alex this before too, and I've told people on live. Now that in my adult years, And I got to literally cry out that emotion for 12 minutes straight when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl last year. Now I'm literally on the Lions train. I'm on the Cardinals train. I'm on the Bills train. Like, I just want the Vikings. Like, I want you guys to win the Super Bowl so I can just be part of your celebration and just make sure you're all good. Because y'all basically, like, I had messages from a few of you guys being like, listen, dude, are we going out? Are we partying? Like, what's going on? I know COVID's going on, but like, what are we doing, Fulbert? I'm like, nothing, dude. I'm in my basement. I'm getting high. We'll celebrate next year when we win it again, kind of thing. And it was like, all right, buddy. Thank you. All right, cool. But no, for you guys and shit like that, like if the Cardinals are winning the Super Bowl, say like next year, you know for a damn fact that I'm just like sitting there in like a suit and the glasses, pretending like I'm security for Chris everywhere he fucking goes, making sure that he looks important so people aren't like, fuck the Cardinals. Because Chris will just be like, yeah? Where's your team?
No, I'd be like, oh, no, I'll just start swinging. Like at that point, if I won the Super Bowl, I walk away, so it's like, fuck, bang, bye, good night, later, we're next.
18-0, bitch.
Yeah, next.
Rob Ewing, Facebook kept me down. That's funny.
I probably banned you for that awful trade you tried to message me this morning.
By the way, to all the people in the NSD group, yes, if you send Chris a bad trade, he will go on live. And
I will blast you. I will blast you 100%. I will blast you. Jesus.
The question is that can the Rams score on the Bucs' healthy defense? The Rams starting LT is out. Now
we got to see who's there for the Bucs before.
That's again. Yeah. So here's the thing. I like I said last week, the Bucs are healthy, but they're still banged up. Like people are starting. It doesn't mean that they're fully 100%. We need them to step up. We don't need them to be better. We just need them to step up. That's all we need them to do tomorrow. And I'm not happy with that at all. Dak is Johnny. Dak is a dick diva. I saw that on Hard Knock. All right, okay. I mean, if we're bringing in the Hard Knocks in the way that he kind of was there, like you're not wrong, but still, I mean, it's Dak. He's got talent. Dak was fined $25K for his remarks about the refs. BA was fined $50K for smacking a player, and Aaron Donald gets nothing.
Did you? You didn't respond to my tweet, Andrew. You didn't respond to my tweet the other day.
Oh, I didn't actually. I apologize.
Because I was like, do you still think that AB is like just being gassed up?
I do actually, because this situation though, like, don't get me wrong. I said it on, I think it was Alex's show. I don't condone what BA did only because when you're in the NFL level, it's a job. Like that's your money. You know what I mean?
If my boss hits me, then my boss is done.
Yeah, exactly. Like if your boss has the ability to throw, say hands, right, then I should be able to as well. Like, but this is where I kind of go right in the middle. I don't necessarily think Bruce Arians went to like fucking pound on this kid. The guy has a torn ACL. Well, yeah, he's got a torn ACL. He's got a torn ACL or like a half torn ACL right now. So in my opinion, like I said on Alex's show, I think he was just coming in to give him a smack on the helmet. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't pull people off of the pile. You're going to get us a penalty. That's what I think it was meant to do. But instead, he kind of trips. Because if you saw the one play, I can't remember. I think it was OJ Howard or somebody. But someone's like right there. And Bruce is just trying to get around him to get that smack. And I think he kind of moves back a little bit. So right when Arians is going to do it, it's kind of like at the same time. So it looks really bad. It looks like he went to go like give him the smack and then a full forearm fucking side chuck. You know what I mean?
To me, the fact
this week we're gonna get footage of Bruce Arians pointing a gun at another player, and next week Andrew's gonna be like, "It's not like that. It's not like that. He wasn't gonna shoot him."
No, I do.
He was just saying, like, you know,
like I said,
go out there and shoot somebody. I don't know. Like, I don't know what Andrew
got to shoot the gap.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot the gap. Exactly.
This is how you shoot the gap.
Yeah.
I don't condone what he did because again, it's just a job, right? What I do think is allowed at that respect, like the hitting of the player, like, and when I say hitting of a player or something like that, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Alex, of all people, knows exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I know this too. When I did pretty good in high school, it's because Coach Battistill in grade 10 came up to like grab me. It's like, you have fucking potential. Get around these fat fucks and hit the damn quarterback. You know what I did that next play? I kept hitting Matt Madge to the point where the offense yelled, stop hitting the fucking quarterback in practice. And I just turned around and I go, no, stop me. And that was it.
I ran like 30 laps for hitting a quarterback in practice.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I definitely ran laps. I definitely did suicide.
I hit a quarterback once in practice. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, well, he earned it.
No, Matt Madge, like I didn't like say hit Matt Madge to the point where he'd ever. I think the first couple of times, just me getting used to playing the position and stuff like that. But after a while, it was just like I would just grab Matt, and then like if he's going to throw, I'd let him throw it. But like I definitely give him like one of those little jolts. Like, see, you would have gone down, dude. You would have gone down. Like you got to get it out sooner. So, but grabbing a player like that to show them that some people may say, listen, this is 2022. You don't do that. This is also how, if you're not going to allow that, go play flag football. I've said this in hockey and baseball and every damn sport that has a little bit of contact or a little bit of fighting. If you're going to try and take that out, you're just going to make the anger so bad that someone's going to take a baseball bat to a pitcher's head in the middle of a fucking game. You know what I mean?
Just the case. My whole thing with the Bruce Arians thing was, yeah, you're right. It looks bad. You're probably right. It didn't. It came across on video worse than it was. But again, no striker player. But even again, so just back to this just makes it makes Antonio Brown's story sound even more believable. Like I said, it's probably not all true. There's three sides to every story,
lying about shit,
right? Yeah. Exactly. There's three sides to every story, but it makes what Antonio Brown is saying start to sound more believable because this is now 2 weeks in the span of a month that there has been some sort of altercation between Arians and a player.
And we all do know, I mean, you know as well as anyone too, back in the Arizona days, that Arians is like, you're going to pay attention to what we're doing.
He's blunt. Yeah. Like I said, and I have respect for him. Like, I'm not trying to be like, he's a terrible coach, this and that, but it's just like,
of course not.
It's like, this is, like I said, this is 2 incidences now with inside of a month, essentially, that it's just like, okay, what's going on over there, right? Then you got Arians doing that. Yeah. You got Brady acting like a psychopath sometimes. Like sometimes he's, fun loving and whatever, and sometimes he's throwing iPads and destroying them.
He's a little bipolar, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, like it's like he's just acting like a fucking psycho.
But this comment though, like I do understand where some people are coming from, like with the whole oh, he gets nothing. It's not a game.
He shouldn't get anything.
No, he's not.
He should have got ejected. If you throw a punch, you get ejected. It should have been the exact same thing. Player doesn't have a helmet. He should have got ejected from the game.
In my opinion, yes, but no suspension against
the right tackle should have got ejected as well.
Yeah, I also agree.
Both of them should have been gone.
For what? For what? Just out of curiosity, for what?
Well, if you're gonna throw out Donald, he went at it with Donald, and then the very next play, the Rams did the smart thing and pulled Donald off, let him cool down. Yeah. And then the right tackle goes after Leonard Floyd and does the exact same thing with Leonard Floyd. Yeah. So he's instigating it. So if you're going to toss one, you might as well toss the other.
Yeah, it'd be like letting Tom Wilson.
But ripping off a player's helmet and attempting to choke him is that's where I say Donald should have been ejected. I'm not saying I'm saying for the after the fact. He ripped off Humphrey's helmet and then tried to choke him out. Yep. That is, to me, that is an ejectable offense, and I don't understand why there wasn't an ejection on it.
But not a game.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, not a suspension. No suspension. No, it's because it's the same. Like I said, it's the same as throwing a fist, right? Like guys who you try to punch somebody, you don't get a suspension. Maybe you get a fine, depending how bad it is, but you just get thrown out of the game. That's what Donald should have been thrown out of the game, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I also think because a lot of people have kind of come out. I've seen in the comments too, be like, "This is why you should allow fighting in football." Fuck no.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Dude, no. Fuck. It's not the same.
No, it's not the same. I literally seen a comment that were like, hockey allows fighting, and they got literal knives on their feet and hockey sticks. Baseball's got like a thing that you can throw at 100 miles an hour would literally put someone paralyzed and also a baseball bat. What do football players have? I'm like almost 100 men on the field that literally all cameras are not going to catch what goes on in a scrum like that. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Well, not only that, like for hockey, for example, like teams aren't built with, 15 guys that can fight and throw hands and whatever, right? Like they're not built like that. Like Connor McDavid's not going out there fighting. Superstar players aren't going out there fighting, right? You have like one or two guys that sometimes fight. In football, they allowed fighting every other play. You'd have the entire offensive line fighting with the entire defensive line and a linebacker coming out of nowhere and suckering guys. Yeah, like it would be an absolute mess. It'd be a disaster because even you get wide receivers. Like remember, was it AJ Green fought Jalen Ramsey a couple years ago? They had a scrap on the field.
Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah, like you'd have shit like that. It would be madness if it was allowed to happen.
What's that? Bears player and the Saints player there last year.
Oh, Javon Wims and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, like it would be, if it was allowed to happen, it would be absolutely absurd. You wouldn't play football. It'd be UFC. You wouldn't play football.
Exactly. That's where I'm at too. Because then what happens in hockey is people get they get taken off the ice, they get ejected, right? And then it's like, guess what? You're forced to play the rest of the game with like maybe 4 or 5 dudes on your bench. Like, congratulations. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You cannot finish a football game if you put no center out there.
And the worst part is you have DK Metcalf fighting his own team.
Yeah,
or the Washington football team defensive lineman going at it.
Yeah. As soon as things like the offensive
lineman in the NFL, get Richie Incognito back in the league.
Like if there was fighting allowed in the NFL, there should have gotten. See, that's agreed. Yeah, agreed. Both players should have gotten ejected. Yes, because it's the same thing in hockey. Like if Tom Wilson for the Washington Capitals, goes into it with, Ryan Reeves on the Rangers there. And all of a sudden you pull Ryan Reeves off, but allow Tom Wilson to just go at it with the top line of the Rangers. Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, you're an absolute idiot.
To be fair, you penalized the Cardinals by leaving Humphries on the field. So yeah, you should have ejected. I'm actually okay with them ejecting him because he just is. They need to cut him. He needs to get cut. Like cut trade. He's got to go. He's our highest paid lineman, and he led the league in penalties or something like that, or led the team in penalties.
If he's a cap casualty, get rid of him. Can you just
$14 million next year, and he was like top.
Has he got dead cap though?
I don't know. I don't know.
I got like 1 or 2 million. I would hope.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back next season. I really don't think.
Not to mention that Brady has already figured out the Rams defense when he had AB and Godwin. I'm nervous. The one thing I think that might happen, I kid you not, is either Vaughn or Bell might go off a little bit, and it might surprise the Rams. Like just a few more yards extra on their carries. You know what I mean? Where it just really starts to piss off McVay, because then all of a sudden he's like, shit, the Buccaneers can do what I'm doing right now and just run out the clock. I don't want that. He wants the Bucks to pass it. He wants to have the ball the whole entire game, because he's just going to let Cam Akers and Sony Michel run as best as they can, and then let Stafford throw it to Kupp when they need that first down. And I'm so fucking nervous
for the Humphreys thing. It's a dead cap hit of 4.5.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all.
I'd take that.
Titans, 49ers, Bills, and Bucks, Rams. Lol. Yeah, everybody's torn on that one, dude. I don't want to.
To me, it solely depends at this point on Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. You got Whitworth out on the Rams, but if Wirfs isn't playing for the Bucs, I'm sorry, Wirfs is much better than Whitworth. So,
for sure. And I think one of the reasons we had this success is because we took an offensive line that was one of the worst in the league. And it was our interior line that was probably top 5, but it was our tackles that were shit. And then all of a sudden, one decided to play good because we went and grabbed Tom Brady and we drafted the other one. I was going to
say it's because of your scheme change that totally fixed that.
Yeah. So, Burrow will be sacked 7 times in this game, and they will turn the ball over 3 times. Wow.
Have you seen Tennessee play defense? It's not
the worst.
But it's nothing to write home about either. Not that good.
What is this?
The pass rush isn't nearly as good. The run defense has been pretty decent, but
to say sacked 7 times and 3 turnovers, that's, like I said, they're not that good. Their defense isn't terrible. I'm not saying they have like the worst defense ever, but it's not 7 sacks and 3 turnovers good.
What? Maybe I'll get to that later. I'm just trying to see what everybody thinks the value of James Patterson from Washington would be in Dynasty over the offseason. because somebody wants him in the COVID league off of me. And they keep saying, like, they send me some offer, like, I need picks. And I got them for free because I just picked them up in the waiver wire. But I mean,
Yo, I found out today, I think in COVID, I have second overall pick.
Something like that, yeah.
And I have, like, my team's was just riddled with injuries this year. Like, I mean, even you look at my starting lineup right now, it's like IR. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Buddy, between injuries
my 5-spot IR is full. Plus, I have 4 IR players in my starting lineup. That's how riddled with injuries I am. I had 9 injuries to key players: Hawkinson, Hopkins, Fournette.
Fucking Hawkinson, if he didn't get a 0-point game, I would have probably kept him. But once that 0-point game happened, I was like, hi, Alex, you want your tight end?
I do, because next year if that offensive line's healthy, he's not going to have to block.
I know.
I got him in a lot of leagues, and I'm just sitting there holding on to him. I'm like, just go wait. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off.
Johnny thinks 30 ranked defense, Mitchell and Debo are going to have a field day. I do too, but they're not going to be able to pass it very well.
You don't need to. You keep Rodgers off the field with that run game.
I want an autographed Leroy Selman jersey. Don't we all?
Win the mock draft then, Johnny. Win the mock draft.
I bet Andrew still has Gainwell. Though. Damn right, I still have Gainwell. The opportunity for him next year.
Didn't he get like a touchdown or no? He had like a big player
last week.
And I texted him like, "There's your boy. Yeah. There's your boy."
I think if Miles Sanders gets injured, man, they might just go with Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell next year, or draft another guy.
Oh boy.
Ben Cornette, wear that jersey, Alex. Wear it. That's fucked.
You know what? I'll say this.
Nope. Don't you dare. Don't you.
If the Rams win next week, or if the Rams win tomorrow, next week I will show up in that Rams jersey.
I hate
you. Boy. Oh boy.
Well, it'll be the last episode of NSD, ladies and gentlemen.
I have to find a way to, on my screen, just put something over top of them. We'll put like another webcam of me on top of them on the overlay.
Lamb chops going on the grill at about 3 tomorrow afternoon. Let's fucking go, Bucks. I love that.
I mean, I'm doing ribs, but sure.
How many bunkers does Andrew have in his secret in my secret compound? This is my basement, bro.
Like you moved your camera. It looks like a different setup.
Yeah, no, I decided to move everything a little bit over so I can get at the whiteboards a little bit better.
I'm waiting for my legs for my desk so I can redo my whole setup.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
There it is. Fred Moore, 17-4. Let's fucking go. He actually messaged me last week when I said that. And he's like, I just finished watching your show. I'm sorry. Let's fucking go. And then a couple of Bucks picks. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. I got the Titans, Packers, Bucks, and Bills winning this weekend. See, a lot of people start getting back on that Titans, so I'm not feeling too bad about the Bengals at +4. What's this? For goodness sake, Andrew, Bruce Arians has early stages of dementia. You just have a hatred for older people in their late 60s and early 70s. Give the old guy a break, jeez. Oh, Jesus. Hey, man. I don't hate old people. Bruce Arians don't got no dementia. Get out of here. Any word on number 78 Werf's ankle doing? Elmer Fitch. What you got, Alex?
Looking at a couple things here. So nobody really knows anything because 2 days ago it was said that he's a long shot to play, and then he practiced yesterday, and then they said, oh, he's progressing nicely. So it's like at this point nobody really knows anything.
So what Chris is about to say is Bruce Arians is going to force him in.
And Bruce isn't going to like it, and he's going to do jumping jacks down the end zone.
With no shirt on.
Yeah, and he's going to say, I want out of Tampa Bay, and you watch how quick that guy gets a job. Right?
It'll be funny if all of that went down, and then AB picks him up in his Uber. You too? You too? All right.
And instead of going to the next game, they're pictured at a Miami Heat game.
Ooh.
Or like,
yeah.
And then they go to the Dolphins. No thanks. I leveled Tommy.
Okay, can we talk about something from last week?
Uh-oh.
We all thought the Patriots would keep that game close. What the fuck happened?
Ooh. Josh Allen happened.
What the fuck happened? We were like, yeah, this game will be close. It'll be a good game. And after the first quarter, I was like, well, That was a good football game. I'm turning this off now. It's over. It's over. It's been 5 minutes. This game's over.
I left it on because I loved watching the Patriots get absolutely dismantled.
Oh, man. That was brutal, man.
Yeah, that was I did not necessarily see all of that coming. I knew the Bills were going to do good. I'm so happy I said Josh Allen to score 3 touchdowns, though. Yeah. That was a nice payout. I dabbled in the plus
Actually,
5.
Speaking of gambling,
or the 5 touchdowns, because it was like plus 1,600 odds or something like that, and I was like, oh well, like he probably could, and I was more looking at his total touchdowns, but his total touchdowns was only like plus 900 because the whole chances of him running it in and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that 1,600 looks nice. I should have taken that 1,600 because I put $20 down on those bets too. God damn it. I'm an idiot. No, I just cashed out. Actually, I just cashed out like $300 from Bodog. So, wah.
Nice.
It's because I played blackjack, and then I got really baked, and I was doing good. Like I went up and down, up, down, up, down, like that kind of thing for a bit, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I was just really baked, and I was just like, you know what? $25 hands. Like I just did one little gamble, like one little deal or whatever, but I put $25 for each hand. And it was like 2 blackjacks on one, and then I stood on a 20 on the other. And it was just like, give me that money. Give me that money. So I cashed out. And it was like, ha, fuck you, Bodog, for all the money you taken from me. I leveled Tommy Frazier at practice in high school, and I had to run for the next week after I almost shaken out of my helmet when the coach grabbed me and yelled at me.
Yeah, to me, that's just coaching.
Well,
I've always had coaches like that.
I always liked my coach where it's just like, well, what's going to happen in a game when our quarterback gets hit and he goes down and he doesn't know how to take a hit because he's a fucking pussy. And now, like, at least when he does it in practice, he's getting used to, smack the ground like you do in judo or karate and stuff like that. Like, there's just certain things. And I'm like, I get it. But also at the same time, too, the quarterback's supposed to kind of be a pussy. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be the pretty boy, skinny guy that can make all the plays and stuff like that. But you give me a Big Ben that can actually like take hits and stuff like that. I'd prefer that, or an Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
Andrew Luck would be nice. Arians hobbling around on a torn AC or Achilles, trying to keep a player from getting a dumb penalty is funny, not offensive. I agree that both players. Yeah, you got that. It's not the first time Donald has done that. Nope, no, it's true. That is true.
He does it a lot. He did it with Penei Sewell.
Yep. Ben Cornett says, I would allow head coaches to fight, by the way. And now...
Man, that Super Bowl last year, you see Bruce Arians and Andy Reid just swear
wow.
the logo. Like,
oh, boy.
Wow.
Dan Campbell gets to bite some kneecaps.
You imagine, like... I'm trying to think of a good one. Like, so what is the really show? Like, Pittsburgh versus Philly and Tomlin walking up to Cesario, you know what I mean? Like to go fight, and Tomlin just like towering over him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But then, yeah, like, and Andy Reid and like Brian Dable when he becomes a head coach versus somebody would be great. Would be absolutely great. Allow head coaches to fight.
Brian Flores and Bill Belichick this year.
Oh, Bill Belichick versus Pete Carroll.
Oh.
Or what's his name? Tom Coughlin, if he was still in the league. That would be great.
God. Coughlin and Belichick, yes, please.
Yeah, right? Grayson will have the big game. I think so. Wirfs is playing. You need a good attorney.
I'll believe that when I see it, Johnny. The Wirfs one.
Yeah. If you need a good attorney, call Wirfs in Whitworth. What's the actual one to that, though? Now I'm going to have that in my head.
Oh.
Fuck them. Damn you, Dan, or Ben. Have you seen the Bengals O-line? Well, yeah, that's what we said. Sometimes they play like they're semi-decent, and other times Joe Burrow has to become a running quarterback. So,
yeah.
If donuts were a sex toy, Andrew would have an STD, sexually transmitted donut. Oh, buddy. You don't know what Tim Hortons is up here. Some of their donuts. Some of them are shit. Yeah. Old fashioned is just like fucking great though. Johnny says, "Sup, Chris?"
Hey, buddy.
We're gonna have to. Like I said,
I'm just trolling Twitter here. I'm always like on Twitter, just like looking for stuff while we're on the show.
Oh, fucking hey. I need you one of these days. I'm gonna invite Fat Mike to come on here from Chicago Sports, and you two are just gonna go at it.
I think you told me about that already.
Yeah, we've already told people about it too, and people are like, "Oh yeah, just let them fucking go at it." Because he'll say Cardinals fan, so he'll automatically assume you like all the Cardinals teams. So he'll be like, "Hey, fucking Coyote fan" and shit like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Only one mistake here. That's it. Just one mistake.
I mean, the Diamondbacks.
I had one guy. So, like, my buddy Brett tagged me in something on Facebook, like, because he doesn't watch football and he just had to watch Monday night. Mm-hmm. And it was like, he's like, "What is going on? Like, you said this team was good." And then somebody commented on his post, like, "The Cardinals are the most overrated 11-6 team." And I'm like, "How? Just tell me how." I'm not. That's fine. Just tell me how. And then he's like, "They've won X amount of playoff games in the last 10 years." I'm like, "Okay, so being historically not the greatest team has what to do with this year?" And he's just like going at me with nonsense. And I'm like, "Okay, I can't." I'm like, "I can't." I text him. I'm like, "Bro, don't tag me and stuff anymore. I know you're an idiot, but I didn't realize your friends are idiots too. And at least I like you. I don't like your friends." Like, I'm like, "Don't do this anymore. I can't handle it."
That's like, me. You know me too well.
I love to talk about football. If you want to tell me my team sucks, go ahead and tell me my team sucks. But give me a reason. Don't just be like, bad team, bad because they suck. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, that's like, you know me. I'm waiting. I want to so bad because somebody told me the Oilers don't need goalies, and every damn place I go.
Who said that? Who said that?
Who do you think?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I know. Oh, man, I got to do with him this week, too. He was defending Koskinen after that 6-0 win. I'm like, "Bro, give up on the guy. Like, just give up on him." He's like, "Oh, man, don't even get me started on that fucking guy. Love him to death. Great guy, but Jesus Christ."
I've looked it up, too. Jesper Wallstedt and Sebastian Cossa, the goalies I said that, like, they should definitely go after. Nope, they're both doing actually really, really good.
Yeah, anybody.
They traded their pick away to another team in conference so they could get Jesper Wallstedt.
In conference, yes, not in division.
Don't get me started on the Oilers.
I couldn't.
I think I have a lot of anger about the Cardinals. My anger about the Oilers is much more deep rooted.
But also, again, I want to put out there and be like, so Detroit and the Oilers have the same amount of wins. This means I'm good, right? Like, We're so good, right? No.
Are we good or are they bad?
No. This is what I'm saying. The Oilers are still good. Like, the Oilers are definitely good. But the Red Wings are literally the best middle pack team I have seen in the NHL in a long time. They have really good young players that can win games, like, say, important games. But also at the same time, too, they get, like, flashbanged when they go up against some of these really good teams as well.
Yeah,
and it's not fun watching those. Also, Nedeljkovic, you need to stay like consistent in the third quarter, please. Like just a little bit more consistency, and you'll be absolutely fantastic. Just a little bit more. I would love nothing more than to take that final playoff spot away from Boston, but I know for a fucking fact it's not going to happen. So, no. Todd Simpson, nice fucking hat, dude. Also, I can just see like a little bit of that shirt.
Like that guy's balling, man.
Yeah, I like this guy already.
Yeah,
that shirt I need when I go to Tampa. I'm repping the fuck out of that. Why so many Buck fans so scary about this game? Even though I'm a Bucks fan, people forget we won the damn Super Bowl, and plus we had injuries last season. So please tell the people to calm down.
It's where the injuries are this season.
So here's the thing. Again, the only reason
I'd be scared of the Rams pass rush.
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to play the Rams. I even said that last week when I actually had Rick Hughes message me, and he said I think he used it on the show or whatever, but he goes, who do you want to see the Bucks play out of like the Rams and the Cardinals? And I said the Rams, and he asked why. And I said, and this is no offense to Chris, I think Chris kind of knows this already, is both teams play well against each other matchup wise, but when it comes to a very key point of a game where a certain play needs to be called, where they need a first down or a stop or whatever, I trust the Rams more than I trust the Cardinals. So,
yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about the issue with the Cardinals on Monday, we could talk about it. But it's yeah. I agree. The play calling wasn't there, but that offense is designed around one player who was not dressed on Monday night.
That's true. That is true.
Right? Like that offense. I still got my mic on. I'm just grabbing a drink because I turned my camera off. But that offense is designed around DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's designed for Hopkins to go deep and draw a double coverage, opening up space in the middle of the field for Murray to run, or for, Christian Kirk to be open, or AJ Green to be open, or whoever, Zach Ertz to be open. And then if they don't get that double coverage, then they hit them. And it's either 9 times out of 10, it's a completion for a huge gain, or it's a PI, which is still a huge gain. So that's the whole point of that offense. You take Hopkins out of that equation, AJ Green is not a wide receiver 1 anymore. The guy barely caught a pass in the last 5 weeks.
He's good, but he's not a wide receiver 1 anymore.
He's not good, and I don't want him back. We're not going to talk about him, though. So we're not going to talk about him.
Here's the thing for the Cardinals. I'll just say for the offseason. I've seen a couple of mock drafts because I agree with you with the corner. I
need a corner.
I agree with you with the corner. And what I was going to say earlier is with regards to that, I do think the one that you wanted there, which was McCreary, or no, you wanted McDuffie.
McDuffie, yeah. Not the one I wanted, but that's the one I think they'll get at 23.
Yeah, I think
because he's not. Yeah, I think he's going to be the only one available at 23. Best one available.
No, I think Kerry Elam or Andrew Booth will be available because
they're starting to slide a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why I think with Roger McCreary and Trent McDuffie, like those guys would probably go a little bit higher. So that's why I think Booth and Kerry Elam being available for the Cardinals at 23 is more than likely.
Yeah.
So
either way, they got to go corner. Like regardless, they got to get a corner.
The other thing is a lot of mock drafts, and I can't a few mock drafts that I've seen right now has the Cardinals taking a wide receiver. And
okay, fuck.
Now here's the thing.
I'll be angry if they do that. They need to target a solid wide receiver too. They absolutely do. But that's more. I think that's something that they should be doing in free agency or via trade. Because I don't think we're in a position right now to bring in a rookie receiver and expect him to handle the workload of like a wide receiver too. Even if unless you're getting like a Jamar Chase, but you're not getting that at 23.
No, the only wide receiver that I could see working in that offense like the first year is the one that I have been bringing up a lot, which is the next Mike Evans, is Drake London there from USC. Like you want to have 2 D-hops on your team. You want the attention over there, and you want the attention over there, and you just go right down the fucking middle every time. That would be gorgeous. But I also agree with you. They have other needs to fill. Yeah. I would even be okay with them going with one of those offensive linemen, like Penning.
Penning's there,
yeah.
But I think there's enough. I guess not enough talent, but we can get value for a pick in like the second round for an offensive lineman. Oh, yeah. But I don't think we can do that for a corner in the second round. Like I don't think we'll get a good corner at our second round pick. But we can still get a solid offensive lineman at our second round pick. Maybe not the best one, but we'll get a good one. Whereas with corners, DBs are valuable, right? Like I mean, a good DB is can sometimes be a dime a dozen depending who they are.
Yep.
But they just need to get a good corner, a good solid corner. Like Murphy stepped into that role this year. That's that DB1 kind of role. And he played well, but we drafted Marco, or was it Williams or Wilson in the fourth round last year. And he was like our number 2 corner, and it was bad.
Yeah. It just needs
it was bad. It's bad if you go up against a team that has more than one solid target.
Yep. And
then we put a lot of pressure on Budda Baker to be fucking everywhere, which he did remarkably well. But it's just.
Well, this goes to Alex. So Alex keeps bringing up Kyle Hamilton, and so I decided to go watch like the actual tape on him because people keep saying, "Oh, the Jets at 4, the Jets at 4," and I can't, and I didn't, and I still don't necessarily see the Jets taking that high of a pick because for some odd reason I can see Kyle Hamilton falling to 10 to the Jets.
No.
Well, it goes to that Slater situation that we talked about from last year. That talent was so good, but because of the people in the top 10 with what they need more of, I think they would probably go a different way. Like Kyle Hamilton's definitely not going number 1, 2, or 3. Maybe.
I think 3. I could see that actually.
But think about how many needs Houston has.
Think about where their GM and potentially their coach are from is New England. Kyle Hamilton's a New England kind of pick.
You're not wrong. But we would also have to see who obviously goes there too, because like the next GM and coach could be like, well, we're taking a quarterback at 3.
GM's there. It's Casario.
Or yeah. The coach could be like, well, we're going to take a quarterback at 3 because we won't be this high in a long time ever again. So, I just think out of the value, like he is a great player, and I totally understand why. But it's like, do you want to have an offensive lineman to protect your? I know people say in the Jets, so they already have offensive linemen. Well, one of them is not that great, and they kind of injured.
Tackle still.
Yeah. So would you want to have, Charles Cross instead of him? Possibly. Would you want to have Ike Mekwonu from NC State? Possibly. Yeah.
There's a chance that Evan Neal might still be sitting there because there is talks that Jacksonville might still go Aiden Hutchinson.
I've seen that too, and I'm just like, God, you guys are so fucking dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, if they do, it's a big mistake. And I mean, I want Hutchinson, so it would suck, but
because
I'd also be happy with Thibodeau.
I've looked at the Jaguars like off-season plans. Like Cam Robinson is not necessarily the greatest left tackle, and he's a free agent. Andrew Norwell is a damn good guard. He's a free agent. And then you got to trust the second rounder that they got last year at number 45 to go in and step up to be your left tackle. This is still Trevor Lawrence here, man. Like, come on. I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying that to like the next the owner. Like, come on, man. Like, you should literally be coming out and being like, Evan Neal is ours, and y'all can figure it out from there. Like,
if you want Evan Neal, trade with us. Like,
and if you do want Evan Neal, you're trading us a fucking package because he's going to protect Trevor Lawrence, and you know exactly what you're getting in Evan Neal. So, going back to the Cardinals, if they were to grab a wide receiver, it would be one of those things where, like, again, with Chris last year was just kind of like, why are we doing this with a linebacker? Then it's like, okay, I see why, and blah, 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 blah. And he actually played really, really good. It'd be the same thing if that happened there. Like, well, why are we grabbing a wide receiver? We don't need him. And they'd be like, okay, this is going to be fun and to watch, blah, 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 blah.
No, but the problem is, like, they draft Zaven Collins, right? We still didn't use, to me, Zaven Collins or Isaiah Simmons this year to their full potential. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what Vance Joseph's doing, putting these guys like in these situations, but that's why I didn't understand a linebacker. I'm like, we have Simmons. We already don't play him enough. We're going to grab another linebacker and not play him enough. Like, whereas we have glaring issues at DB. Like, you look at I said it. I can go back to the start of the season, like before week 1, and find on Twitter like somebody was saying the Cardinals for the Super Bowl. I'm like, well, everything looks good except for that DB room looks soft as fuck. Like,
we need one more DB.
It's soft. Like Byron Murphy, like I said, he stepped up. He played well. Budda Baker's obviously one of the best safeties in the league. Mm-hmm. Our pass rush is good. Our linebackers are solid, but when it comes down to covering any type of wide receiver too, like, and that's one thing with the Rams, right? They have fucking 3 capable wide receivers. We couldn't cover them. Couldn't cover them at all, and we couldn't get to Stafford. That was the other thing.
Now, the one way I could see Gardner possibly getting like even close is if it's only talent, like say offensive linemen and wide receivers or however you want to play it, that go all the way till about 10. And then a few quarterbacks start coming off the board at like 11, 12, 13. Couple teams start trading up and stuff like that. And the Cardinals find a way that, like, say, Ahmad Gardner's sitting there at 15-ish. That's where you could probably convince, what would that be, Philly? Yeah, because Philly's
just after. They're 16, 17, I think.
So that would be Baltimore. So you could probably convince Baltimore at that point because they have a couple of corners, right? Drop back.
They might go get that third corner though.
They might, but that's again where the Cardinals could come in and be like, listen, we'll give you a little bit, right? Just so we can get that Ahmad Gardner. Because you're not going to be able to take pick number 23 and get to the top 10 to get him. But if he starts falling, like what we've seen last year and the year before that with a couple of these really good talents where they start falling into the 10s and 11s and 12s. Like Justin Fields was available at 12 last year, and then all of a sudden the Bears were like, yep, we're coming up. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what wouldn't shock me? Is if the corner that starts to slide out of that top 10 that's been talked about there is Derek Stingley.
Yeah. I still hold him to be the number 1, but man, Ahmad Gardner's tape.
He's making a push.
I watched his tape. Like, I actually watched a cornerback's tape and totally understood what it takes to play the cornerback position because he played that good on the tape. It was like, shit, dude.
And like, I don't know, like, we have good scouts. Like, we historically have drafted some damn good DBs. Taking Tyrann Mathieu we got him super late, but then that was a whole other thing. He had character issues and stuff. But Patrick Peterson was a first round pick. Yep. I think when did we get Buda Baker? Was it second or third round?
Second round.
Yeah.
Second round, yeah.
That's
like, historically, we scout DBs well. So I have to imagine that they're working on it. I mean, I would fucking hope so. We're working on something. Somebody's got to work on something. Like, something's got to, I guess, I don't know if you saw this on Twitter, if you guys saw it on Twitter, but there was like a whole thing yesterday about a meeting that supposedly never happened that also happened at the same time. And Bidwell's like not happy at it with anybody, nor should he be.
Yeah.
But like, I guess like there was a tense conversation. So they haven't had, from what I've uncovered, they haven't had their official like year-end meeting with like Bidwell and Kime and Kingsbury. But in passing, Bidwell has been quite tense with Kime and Kingsbury over the way the season ended and the position that we're in.
I would have turned around and been like, hey, what were we last year? This year we got to the playoffs. Can we just like let my team fucking develop here a little bit?
But
like,
you got to the playoffs.
No, you can't get blown out like that.
Top team, and you fell.
You can't get blown. And it's not even making the playoffs. We started 7-0 or 7-1, and then Murray got hurt, and then the team just slid. Like, we were 2-1 without Murray, so clearly that wasn't a major issue. But all of a sudden, everything declined. The play calling declined. The quarterback play declined. The whole team's play declined. And like I said, a lot of it does attribute to DeAndre Hopkins. But you have to overcome that. You can't just play shitty football for 6 weeks because your wide receiver's not there. You have to adapt. You have to change your game plan. Like, you have to do something. Like, do fucking something.
That's why I like these top tier coaches out there, like say the Mike Tomlins and the Belichicks and the Bruce Arians, even the Vrabels nowadays. Is like these guys sit there and they change the game plan for the opponent. They don't go in there and say we're using air raid against the Rams.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. I think, like, to go right on to that point, I don't think Cliff planned for that Rams game well at all. Here's what because if you watch early on, they were trying very hard to go deep. And I can imagine why. Both starting safeties for the Rams were out. However, we do not have the big boys up front to stop Aaron Donald and Von Miller long enough for a deep play to develop. Yeah. So they're trying to develop these deep plays with these wide receivers that aren't named DeAndre Hopkins. And before they can even hit the top of their routes where they're going to be maybe targeting these safeties, Murray's running around like an asshole because Donald's right there.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to, Murray just didn't play well as a whole. He didn't play good. But the game plan was clearly to attack those safeties. And you can't do that if you can't give the time for the play to develop.
That's why in this offseason, they should just go get, say like one offensive lineman, whether it's like a guard or like a
tackle.
Have to
just whether it's through free agency or through trade or through the draft, they have to get, I would say, 2 linemen because I think they got to ditch Humphries. I think so. They got to get 2 linemen, a corner, and a wide receiver. And then plus keeping the core guys that we have that are free agents like Chandler Jones. I think they got to bring back Zach Ertz. I think it'd be crazy not to.
I mean, let's just say like Andrew Norwell, for example, does become available. Like the Jags are saying, we're just going to rehaul the entire offensive line through the like draft or whatever. Right. So you go and you grab Norwell for 3 years, 32 mil, it's a cap hit, but now all of a sudden you got like a captain to that line. And then all of a sudden, most of those corners are gone. Your ownership is looking at a wide receiver, but it's like, you know what? Let's just fucking say Penning is there. He's a great tackle. Let's just put him in there with Norwell and let him develop. Now, all of a sudden, like, Kyler could just sit in a pocket for an extra second, and it's just like, shit, you could actually make him pass a little bit more.
Yeah, they need to beat the O-line 100%.
Yeah.
That is.
And then all of a sudden, in the second
got to be a priority.
There's what's that one guy I was looking at that doesn't look bad? There's 2 of them, actually. The De'Aaron Kendrick from Georgia is starting to look like a second rounder, maybe top of the second round, but you never know. And then Kyler Gordon from Washington is a sleeper, but I think he would be available in the mid-second. And Washington corners notoriously do pretty good. So I can see that being also a good pick. And yes, I understand that we're building the Cardinals right now in the offseason.
Yeah, I I have to imagine that if they don't fire Cliff or Kime or both of them right now, if they don't get to, like, I would say at the very least the NFC Championship next season, they're both gone. Both of them.
Oh, yeah. I just
like, there's too much, to me, there's just too much talent on that team to not be expecting to be at least in the conference championship.
For sure.
That should be the Super Bowl should be the expectation, but at the very least, getting to the NFC Championship and going up against, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or whoever in that championship game.
2 years ago, they were in that conversation that me and Alex had talked about, like the Raiders, the Broncos, even the Vikings, where it's like, you have a lot of talent on that fucking team. You need to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals finally said, fuck it, we're doing it. And I'm proud of what the Cardinals did. I'm just waiting for the Broncos, like, not just because of, the fact that we got Robert. And happy birthday, Robert. Shout out on NSD for Robert's birthday today. 31 years old, and we still can't celebrate our 30th.
I'm still not giving you Pittman for nothing.
He's like, come on, it's a birthday present.
Yeah.
The Broncos, I think they're obviously a quarterback away. That team has a lot of talent. I've also seen I don't think they're going to do it, but I've seen the Bronco on a mock draft or two take, where's that wide receiver there? Sorry, I'm just got to look at my board here. The one from Alabama, that's
Jameson Williams.
Williams there. Yes, Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams going to the fucking Broncos. And I'm like, listen.
No.
Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Jameson Williams to be, and then all of a sudden just go pluck Aaron Rodgers or something like that. Like, fuck you.
Wait, are you talking at 9?
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's
be
beyond stupid.
It would be. And I think I still am holding that the David Njoku or Ojabo pick would be just like
that, or Devin Lloyd.
Or Devin Lloyd
from Utah.
Like, just because last year, me and you were like, imagine if Denver were to take Patrick Surtain, and then they did it. We were like, good for you. Now it's just like they're sitting at that same spot. And I'm like, listen, if you go get a quarterback in the offseason, like you might be.
Or do they go pick up another corner because 2 of their 4 are
Hi, Maverick. Sorry, I just hear my son yelling down into the basement. Hi, buddy. They need a quarterback. So, but speaking of quarterbacks, let's get into that discussion here a little bit, because I got the teams with the needs of the quarterbacks, teams that might go quarterback, and then no need for quarterbacks whatsoever. The only free agents that look available right now are Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, Marcus Mariota, Trubisky, Brissett, and Andy Dalton seem to be the most top tier quarterbacks that would be.
Andy Dalton hasn't retired yet.
No, he was with the Bears last season, and
No, but I mean, like, for next year, like he's actually going to come back and play again next year. Like,
as of right now, I'm making the camera. Focus. It's the best way I can do. It's probably.
I need a new camera bad.
There we go. It's kind of working. Maybe not. Who the fuck cares? So. This, the only ones I got for possible trades is the same as last year, really. Like the Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Deshaun Watson situations seem to be the only ones of note. The teams that need the quarterbacks, though, the Broncos, the Steelers, the Texans, respectively, they kind of lean in the middle of might go quarterback, but also needs a quarterback. Washington, the Vikings, also in that, say, second tier category of right in the middle. The Lions and the Saints and the Panthers. Out of the might go quarterback, Dolphins, Raiders, Browns, Titans, Colts, Eagles, Giants, Packers, Bucks, and Falcons. The only reason I put might for the Bucks is because if Brady retires this year, I don't think they want to throw Trask in right away.
You think the Eagles are giving up on Jalen Hurts already?
No.
The only reason I got them in the might quarterback is if all of a sudden, say, Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson becomes available to your organization. Like if they call and be like, would you be willing to give us these picks for Aaron Rodgers? I don't think Philly's going to say no. I think Rodgers would say no, but I don't think Philly would say no.
Yeah.
If Wilson became available, I think that would be the best scenario for the Eagles.
I think Wilson. I think it's a coin flip on if he's going to be available or not.
I also agree. But they could not say fleece Philly, but they could turn around and be like, you have to give us Jalen Hurts. We want at least 2 of your first round picks this year, and we want 1 from next year for Russell Wilson. Like, fuck. So all of a sudden, Seattle gets 2 first-round picks to go and build the rest of their team. Jalen Hurts can run that offense respectively.
Or they'll trade it away for another box safety, but
they traded up for Kyle Hamilton, so you have Jamal Adams and Kyle Hamilton in the backfield. Just
disgusting.
Legion of Boom is going to win it all over again. Oh, man. It would be fucking fun to watch, but yeah, definitely not. So let's talk about some of these situations here. Like, if Aaron Rodgers is to leave Green Bay, where do you guys actually see the best situation for him being, and where do you actually see him going? We'll start with you, Chris.
Best situation for him?
Yeah.
Best situation for him, I think, would to me is like a Pittsburgh, like a team that's ready to win that just needs another quarterback now.
Yeah.
Like, I think Pittsburgh's set up as a good team. They just, like, Ben was obviously done, old and decrepit.
Yep.
Where do I see him going? Green Bay. He's staying in Green Bay. Not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. You still think he's staying in Green Bay there, which is starting to lean. Like, the ownership just said, fuck it. Let him smoke weed. Let him not get vaxxed. I'm just done with it.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex? Well, where do you see him going, and where do you what do you think his best scenario is?
Realistically, I think his best scenario might just be staying in Green Bay.
Okay.
Okay, I said, hold on.
He goes Denver.
Pittsburgh was like other than staying in Green Bay.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
Okay, just making sure.
And you think Denver?
Yeah,
Denver would be
Denver.
I do. I still
think they're making that run for him.
Yeah, they're doing basically everything.
Oh, I think everybody's making a run for them.
Yep. Well, there's certain teams that just have, say, more available to them for ammunition to pull a trade. Like, best thing right now, too, is a lot of these teams have not actually hired their head coach already. So that makes me assume most of these head coaches are still on jobs on teams, which means Brian Dable, Nathaniel Hackett, maybe even Todd Bowles and Brian Leftwich. I'm forgetting another one that's in there too. But yeah, like those guys might become available. Like the Nathaniel Hackett one might be going to Denver. I actually think that's probably more of the best opportunity. I
still think that's Dan Quinn.
I've heard that Dan Quinn situation. It makes sense because Dan Quinn can go build his whole regime that he had in Atlanta again and get a new offensive coordinator. That would be fun. I can see definitely.
Did you guys hear that Harbaugh's might be coming back to the NFL?
Oh,
it's Raiders or bust at this point, and it sounds on the Michigan side they expect him to go if the Raiders actually make the offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think the push is coming more for Josh McDaniels right now for the Raiders.
That's not bad, actually.
That motherfucker, no, he's never taken a head coaching job.
He might because the reason I think he hasn't yet is because he was expecting to get the Patriots job.
Yep.
But I'm guessing that's going to go to Steve Belichick.
Yep.
So,
I'm leaning towards that way more now. Like way more. Way more.
I like how McDaniel then he took a job with the Colts and was just like, never mind.
For one more run at that Super Bowl, though, you know.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I don't think he's ever leaving, man. I think he's just a career OC, just right there. I'd love to see him as a head coach. I would. I'm not saying he couldn't do it. I just don't think he's gonna. I think he's like, I'm good here. My team's good.
He got Tebow to the playoffs.
I got a nice young quarterback here.
No. God got Tim Tebow to the playoffs. Thank you very much. This one came out of nowhere, and I like this, but I'm leaning towards more of the obvious head coach that used to exist in the Detroit Lions for this team now. I like the Jim Caldwell to the Lions, or sorry, to the Bears.
Back to the Lions.
Yeah, back to the Lions, right back.
They just found a coach they like.
The OC.
That would be nice.
Yeah, they just found a head coach they like, but they're going to take Caldwell back as a head coach instead.
That'd be a very Ford thing to do.
Yeah.
We'll pay you an extra $1 million. And he'd turn around and be like, you have to give Megatron $1 million. He'd be like, sorry, no deal.
I think they've already pretty much done that.
I know.
He was back in Ford Field this week.
Yeah, because Megatron going to get his money. But I actually think Bieniemy going to the Bears would You want to see Justin Fields develop into the exact quarterback that I think we all thought he could be? Give him an offensive-minded head coach to put him in that. Oh, my God.
See, that's where I think Nathaniel Hackett's going to go.
Interesting. But Nathaniel Hackett just makes sense to wait it out to go to a team like, say, Denver or the Raiders who are ready to make an offer for Aaron Rodgers because they know each other. And he already knows that quarterback would play well in his system. He doesn't have to go out and find a new one or anything like that. It's go to Denver and enjoy, dude.
Yeah.
Or go to the Raiders. Though I think it doesn't – the Packers might turn around and be like, you'd have to give us Derek Carr. Make it like a Stafford and Goff trade there. Whereas
look at his Carr said if he goes anywhere other than Vegas, he's retiring. So you got to see if he's going to actually do that or not.
How many other players have said that? Because there has been a couple like major profile. Or wasn't it Big Ben actually? Didn't Big Ben say if they tried to trade me or? Yeah.
I mean, Gronk did that when they tried to trade him to Detroit, but.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Gronk. Yeah, I'm not going to Detroit. And no offense, like that was
I don't blame him.
Well, and that's what happened with Tampa Bay for a while too. It's like nobody wants to go to Tampa Bay unless you're about the end of your career. You can make a lot of money and you go retire on the beach. Like that was the only Darrelle Revis. It was like come here for a year. We'll overpay you to be injured and play 3 games. Like thank you, cool. Yeah. Bye now. Now it's like everybody wants to go to fucking Tampa. Detroit just has got to get that culture winning. Obviously nobody really wants to live in Detroit. Like that's obvious.
No,
I mean, like they got 4 sports teams and it's still dangerous to go see any one of them. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Noah Fant. I don't keep saying Noah Fant, but I forgot Noah Fant's in Denver there. So
when you're saying no offense.
Oh, no offense. I was like, what? It's like Denver's got Noah Fant, and I totally forgot you add that on that offense. Like that's the intriguing side of Denver is if they keep pick number 9 and you can get one of these top tier quarterbacks, which is obviously not going to happen. But if that happened, you can go and get another wide receiver or you go grab the best defensive player available and that team is ready to go. Like I would bet in a second if they had, say Aaron Rodgers, I would go on Bodog and go to the future bets and I would put the Broncos to have 11.5 wins over. For sure. For fucking sure. They'd probably end up with 11 just to spite me, but fuck. Still think so. That offense on Denver, same thing with Tampa Bay. It just Winston was utilizing it for regular season purposes, but never for an actual win. It's never for to do your actual job. It was just I'm going to sling the ball because I got all these great wide receivers. Denver has great talent. They have a fucking great offensive line. Next year, it's all Javonte Williams, man. And that guy's gonna be so fun to watch. And then you got the wide receivers that they already have and the tight end. Yeah, Denver's a fucking great spot for some of these quarterbacks, man.
Yeah.
Even if they were to settle, if they had to settle for a Marcus Mariota could do pretty damn good in Denver.
To me, I think if you're Denver, you try and get Wilson or Rodgers. I don't really know about Watson there. But if you can't get them, you draft you've got your quarterback, and then you try and trade post-June 1st, your next first-round pick for Matt Ryan.
That would be an interesting one too, yeah. Because if Atlanta decides to go, that's the only category I didn't put up right before the show started is those might go quarterback teams. Say Atlanta, the Giants with Daniel Jones, the Colts with Carson Wentz, Browns with Baker, Dolphins with Tua. What happens if some of those quarterbacks start to become available for some of these teams? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does all of a sudden, if Miami were to say, oh, we just got Deshaun Watson, so someone go and give us a second rounder or 2 second rounders for Tua. If Denver lost out on Rodgers and Wilson, it'd be like, fuck yeah, bring them on down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know that Tua really fits that offense, though. I think you need somebody that can sling it way down the field. I think that's
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I mean, he was partying in Buffalo.
He was at the Bills game partying. That's awesome.
That's
his
the
shirt
type
off
of
in that cold ass weather.
That's the type of quarterback that I want on my team. Like after he's basically either done and left my team, I want him to be able to come back, hang out with the fans, never have an issue, and just party it up. Like that's, to be honest, I wish I would have known how to actually go to school and try to build an NFL team, because that's what I would have done. I would have just found the shittiest NFL team out there and been like, y'all are just coming in here. We're just building a different culture. We're going to see what happens, right? Because then when I would have inevitably left and been fired after 2 years, at least all those players would have been able to go up into the stands and hang out with the fans and have a great fucking time afterwards. So love that shit. What about Russell Wilson? So if he's going to get traded, what team do you think he actually would get traded to? We'll start with you,
Colts.
Alex.
I jumped the gun.
That's all good.
To the Colts, that would be a lot of fun.
Fucking hell, that would be.
Andrew's really not going to like this. I'm kind of pushing towards that Saints one.
Yeah. It would be a great fit. Colts would be I do think the Colts would be a better fit. Not trying to be biased.
I just don't know if they would give up that enough to go get them.
They have to. That's the thing, is they have to. The Colts, the way that team is built right now, they have to just go all in. They have to just they have to be basically what the Rams did this season and just go all in, get the guys, do everything, fucking, I don't know, find money in your pockets to just do it.
And that's the thing. The Colts have a lot of money still.
Yep.
Yeah, they need to just spend. If they want to be, they have a team that can be successful, but not with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is terrible.
No, but I think the Colts as constructed, you could go with one of those second tier quarterbacks, say the Matt Ryan, the Kirk Cousins, those guys.
Yeah.
And you could probably get it done with those guys with the way that team is built.
I don't know, man. I mean, I have zero faith in Kirk Cousins to do anything ever.
I agree, but still, I
have faith in him to hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor.
Oh fuck
yeah! But you can't just run the ball. You're not going to Super Bowl just running the ball. I know. That's not taking anything away from Taylor. I think Taylor could carry that fucking team as best as he could, but you need a quarterback to beat Jacksonville.
You have to beat Jacksonville, man.
Yeah,
but I mean, to be fair, Andrew Luck wasn't beating the Jaguars in Duval. They haven't won in Jacksonville in 7 years.
That's true. But
that's
fair. That's what I've said before too. Like sometimes a divisional rival just has your fucking number.
We can't beat the fucking Lions, man.
They're not a divisional rival though here, man.
It doesn't matter. We can't beat the Lions.
We've played them 3-4 years in a row. They might as well be.
We just can't. I don't understand. We just can't beat the Lions, man. It's
that's That's like us with the Rams there too. It's just we just don't play well against the Rams, in my opinion, and they're not our divisional rival. Fuck off. Our actual rival, we just beat in the first round. If we're actually talking out of division rival for the Buccaneers, it's the Eagles, and we fucking beat them. That's why I kept very quiet. I was like, I don't need Eagle fans coming at me if we were to lose. No, thank you. I can deal with the fucking Saints fans sometimes, but that's it. I don't want to deal with the Eagles. The Eagles have earned their respect in the trolling universe. So Johnny has actually been saying a couple things. What is this here? Lions should use one of their picks and grab Dean. They could use a good linebacker.
If Kobe Dean's there with the Rams pick, I am running to the podium.
100%. I know. I agree with you that some teams are probably going to overlook the size of them. Who fucking cares, man? If
Devin Lloyd's climbing up those boards, though, and I don't think 2 inside linebackers are going to go that high.
No. Devin Lloyd's best situation would be somewhere like the Broncos or the Falcons.
Maybe Washington. The Giants in a couple.
Fuck.
I've seen him as high as 7 in a couple.
Yeah. Not at 5. 5 has got to be an offensive lineman, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Steelers aren't drafting a quarterback this draft. Nope.
They have to.
I don't think so.
They have to do something.
I think if they whiff on these big-time quarterbacks, they're going to run it a year with Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph, and then they're going to take their shot in the next draft.
Something like that, like a Tyrod Taylor. My cat got locked into the basement. So Now we're gonna hear that. Hold on one second. I'm gonna be. Yeah, there we go. Should be out in a second. Best situation for Douche Rogers would be the Saints, but he might actually retire instead of being traded. You never know.
There is still that. Yep.
Yeah.
See, I'd like to see Rodgers kind of do what Brady's doing. Go somewhere else and go win another Super Bowl.
Yep. That's what
I mean, to be fair, Brady won like 6 or 7 there. Rodgers has won 1. So
yeah, but I was actually thinking, it's funny that you say that because I was thinking about that this morning. We were just talking about like Brady and Rodgers comparisons because I actually think Rodgers, like I think everybody does, think Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks to play. But I think so. The Patriots and the Bucs both teams that Brady's played on have built around Brady and given Brady teams to win championships with, whereas the Packers have kind of just like been like, here you go, Rodgers, you want a Super Bowl, here's your money, fucking figure it out with what you got. Like they haven't built him a team to win a championship with, so it's hard to do that. Oh, Brady's got more rings when it comes to that, or to like those two comparisons, because it's like, well, yeah, but the Packers didn't put him in a position to win another one.
But I mean, they also kind of did, because you're consistently winning 11 to 13 games a year with him there. So
yeah,
and you're beating
that's
really
just
good
on
teams
him.
along the
But
way.
that's just him carrying the team. Like that only gets so far, right? Clearly, just gets to the NFC Championship every year.
But I think that's why I'm saying I think it's kind of on him, because they're beating a lot of these really good teams along the way in those 11 to 13 wins every year. And then, yes, 6 of them are coming to the Bears, Vikings, and Lions, but they still have to play that first place schedule every year. So they're playing the top NFC teams throughout and winning most of those games, and then getting there and they just fall on their face.
Yeah, no, the other thing about that too is it doesn't matter if you're playing your divisional rivals and they have like the worst records. That's still a divisional rival. They literally know that they're playing you twice a season. They know that they have 2 different types of game plans that they can play against you. So one of those is always going to be a nail biter. Always going to be a nail biter.
Yeah. But even still, like there's certain divisions where the divisional rivalry games are a lot tighter than other divisions.
Hell yeah. Like yours.
Yeah. Like mine, where every team, if Wilson, honestly, I said it before Wilson got hurt, I honestly thought all 4 NFC West teams are going to make playoffs this year.
Yep. I
thought it was going to end in like a dead ass, like close from top to bottom, and when all 4 teams are going to make the playoffs until Wilson got hurt. And I was like, well, that's out the window. But,
yeah. It was fun actually when me and Alex usually do our full season predictions. I usually have all the games like in front of me and I go week by week. And you start doing like different things in your head. You know, like this year I would have never predicted some of these wins happening. Like I've been like, nope, not happening at all. But in this case too, it's like someone asked on one of the shows, like, can the entirety of one division make the playoffs the way that it's set up right now? It's like, yes,
you can now.
It's just very, very difficult to do that. And they're like, okay, who would be the first division to do it? It's just like right there.
Yeah, NFC West. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because the Cardinals and Seahawks, like you go back every fucking year, the Cardinals and Seahawks split, and they always win on the road. It's just ridiculous. Neither team ever wins at home against the other one. So the Cardinals and Seahawks always split. The Rams and the Cardinals generally split. Rams and Seahawks generally split as well. 49ers kind of get beat up by the Cardinals and they'll beat the Rams and they'll split with the Seahawks. That team just doesn't make any sense because like literally they'll come to Arizona and get beat up and then they'll go to LA and like just put on a show and it's like what the fuck. But it ends up like the way it ends up like this season. If Wilson wouldn't have gotten hurt, it would have ended so fucking tight just because of how often these teams split and don't split and which teams beat which teams like historically that we all probably could have ended up with 5 losses on the season.
Yep.
And
yeah, everybody could have.
And then been like, okay, well, what now? We're all in the playoffs. Like the entire NFC would have just been basically the NFC West versus everybody.
Well, especially when you look at how weak the other second, third, fourth place teams have been in the other divisions this year.
Yeah.
Like the Eagles were not a playoff team.
That's what I was gonna say. The worst team in the NFC West is better than the best team in the NFC East sometimes.
Yeah. Which is funny because I even remember someone said we should do we should do the playoffs differently. And I've always kind of like agreed with that, but I also like keeping it old school where it's like we need to have divisional rivals play divisional rivals. We need to have some of this division like that's just like inevitable. And I totally agree with that, but it's got to be a rule, in my opinion, where
if you're under 500, you should make the fucking playoffs. I'm sorry.
That in the NFL, I agree with that. But also, even in a different way, say the number 7 seed in the NFC is, the last game of the season, 8-8, and the last team in the AFC, that's number 7, is sitting there at like 10-6 or whatever, right? Should almost be like the NHL playoffs where you actually get that last wild card spot then. So you would actually jump to the NFC as the 7th seed.
Like the CFL crossover. Yeah.
Yep. Like, I think that would be cool, but it has to be just based off of the record. You know what I mean? And I know in the NHL, they do that for the conference divisions. So like if you're 8th seed team or 4th seed team or whatever, or however it goes is
so
less
they do
than
the 3 out of each division and then 2 wild cards.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
So I like that. And I think the NFL should adapt something like that too, where just, not saying.
Well, it's basically what we have. It's the same thing. It's just we don't have as many teams that make the playoffs in the NFL, and there's more divisions.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just do the whole NFC as one, like take the divisions away and just have the scheduler make it. Yeah.
I would say do an East, West, Central, make 3 divisions in each.
Yeah. Make it into 3 instead of 4. Because then you could do what the NHL does. Then you could do that. Yeah. You could have the top whatever from each division plus 2 wild cards, or not. No,
you could do 2 from each division and then 2 wild cards. Yeah.
The only thing that sucks is if the NFL did go to 32 teams, trying to do something like that would just not work mathematically. Like one division would technically have one more team than the other 2, and so as long as you kept it that the whole AFC, no matter what division you're in, has a chance to make it to the playoffs, then it shouldn't matter whatsoever. But if you had it where it's like, the winner of the division, it'd be like, okay, so fucking the one division that's got 6 teams all of a sudden has a lesser chance to make it to the playoffs than the other 2 conferences. No, thank you.
But like having 4 divisions in each conference with 4 teams in it, like you're going to get that one team that won there. This year there was 2 teams that don't deserve to be there.
In respect to some of the other teams' records, yes.
Yeah,
that's
just. I think the Chargers would have fared better in the playoffs than the fucking Steelers did, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like this it's
Chargers versus Chiefs in the first round. Yeah. Well, I mean, oh man, that's so dumb on them.
Yeah, and then
I like this. The Will wearing black and gold toughen Rodgers up and make him more of a pussy because he wears black and gold. Thank you very much. Fuck yeah, Fitzmagic. Tua to the Bucks. Not gonna lie, I've said it before. Just because we had arguably the greatest left-hander of all time, and we let him walk out the door for free, I think it's only in our best interest to go get another left-hander and see what he can do. And give him everything he needs. So after Brady, I'm all for Tua. Hashtag Foobs for Tua.
Also, we're talking about Rodgers a bit. I've actually hated Aaron Rodgers for a long time. Started watching Pat McAfee's show like the last little while, and I'm starting to like him more and more. And I don't know if it's just his personality on the camera or what the fuck, but I'm just like, man, he's funny. Like I just enjoy watching him. I'm like, damn it, why do I like you? Like the same thing is like when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. I hated Tom Brady. I fucking hated him. I was like, fuck, I hope he get hit by a bus. And now he's on the Bucs. I'm like, I hate you less. Why do I like you more? Yep. Why do I not hate you as much anymore?
Because one of your friends is happy that I've had success. Yeah.
That's not it at all. Because when I said trivia about your Bucs jersey, you knocked a drink out of my hand. So that's not it at all.
I was so excited to see you in the middle of a pandemic.
Fucking guy. I'm like, hey, nice Bucs jersey. Turns around, smacks my drink out of my hand. I'm like, what was that?
I was way too drunk that game. Way too drunk.
The game hadn't even started yet, bro.
That's the best part.
God, man.
He says, "What's up, D? Colts are are all in on Wentz right now."
Oh, then they're all in on losing.
I mean, they'll go 10-7 with a first round exit next year. Then
Yeah, they can't be all in on Wentz. They have to understand that Wentz is not the answer. And they have a good team. Like I have a buddy who's a diehard Colts fan, and he has been for as long as we've been friends, and he hates it. He's like, man, this team's so good. And usually he's kind of a homer, and I'm like, fuck off. Like your team's okay. But like for once, I'm like, okay, like you're right. Like you're 100% right. You have a good team.
Yeah.
It's just that they're literally a quarterback away.
Yeah, you're actually a quarterback away this time.
Yeah, like you're literally set up. You got the running back. You got a solid defense. They got good receivers. You know, the O-line is pretty stout. Like
I've seen
put somebody back there.
I've seen a post where it said if Brady retired and you had to just take all the best quarterbacks, like some of the best quarterbacks away from their teams and just go put them on like rebuilding squads to allow the NFL to finally have some balance type thing. And I saw the chart, and it was like Patrick Mahomes to the Lions, Russell Wilson to the Saints. It was Kyler to the Texans.
No, absolutely not.
Justin, no, because it was like Justin Herbert to the Vikings. yeah, like it was just stuff like that. And I'm like, that's a gross-looking NFL. I'm not gonna lie. Like, no offense.
Imagine the NFL just like fantasy drafted every year.
I'm not gonna lie.
like once every 5 years or something. Like just
no, every season just like draft a new team. Go for it.
Well, people, I've talked about this with an old boss before because I even said it when I was like 21 or something like that. I'm like, what would prevent this from happening? It's like a lot of shit, people's contracts, sponsorships, and stadiums and all that. But he's like, the only way you would ever be able to do it is if you had an expansion draft with your fantasy draft and you literally, as the NFL, paid the fines on some of these contracts because there's actual lawyers and other firms that are involved in this, right? You paid those off. Every team then, or every player then technically becomes available, even in the rookie draft. Like the actual NFL draft that year would be completely different too. But what you would have to do, and we as hockey fans know this very well, you ain't doing no fucking ball pit behind closed doors with no cameras on it. No. I am going to watch one representative from every team drop their respected whatever into whatever the fuck it is. And there's going to be a camera and one representative from every fucking team, one diehard fan staring at that fucking thing until the day of the draft. Because there ain't no way people would ever accept that if it was behind closed doors. They'd be like, all right, what franchise are we saving today? The Penguins or the Oilers? Like,
yeah.
Oilers are far from saving.
Well, I'm just taking shots at some old.
Can we take in the way I can always say his name wrong. Uzama, tight end for the Bengals.
Uzama, yeah.
Uzama. Look how he fucking. This is swag right here. Look at this. That's a man ready to win a playoff game.
Here we go.
That's a man ready to win a playoff game. He is set.
You know what's funny? Oh yeah, he must have. The funny thing about him, I've actually just doing some of the early versions of the mock drafts that are going on and just kind of putting some teams where they are. I actually wouldn't be surprised. I know the Bengals need offensive linemen. I know the Bengals need even some parts on defense, but they might just say fuck it and give Joe Burrow literally every fucking target that they possibly could find. They might just go take Trey McBride from Colorado and say, this is now your tight end. Can you imagine? Could you fucking imagine?
I could because I saw them
draft Jamar Chase
lineman last year. Yeah.
And so my thing would be, I think ownership would literally just be like, we're going to have the coolest looking offense of all time. Like whether they actually are successful or not.
And the ball's going to have to be gone in 3 seconds. Otherwise the play's not going to happen.
Oh, you know they would just do what they did. What was that? 3 or 4 seasons ago? They would just go spend $60 million in free agency for the 2 best offensive linemen that are literally at the top of the charts. They'd be like, "What's their name?"
Yeah, and that didn't work for them.
It's Cam Robinson, sir. $40 million a year. I don't care. Like
he's making more money than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I'd be like, "Sir, are you sure about that? We need a left tackle." Yeah, that's not the left tackle you want, sir. Like, go take your first round pick. No. You're getting a tight end. So, Rich 0665, thanks for tuning in, buddy. says Cousins will get you to the playoffs, then he will fold like a wet paper bag. Yep. That's why you put him on the Raiders.
If he even gets you to the playoffs.
Oh, I mean,
in Indy, he would get you to the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Did he get the Vikings to the playoffs?
No, not this year.
But
Not
in general, with his career,
I think he's paid entirely too much to do what he does, too.
Oh,
Has Kirk Cousins got the Vikings to the playoffs before, though, right?
I believe so.
I know
I want to say yes.
But it's also one of those like, shit, did he?
I'm one of those like, oh yeah, he did, and then I'm like, but did he though?
But actually,
I'm gonna go look it up.
I know he got Washington to the playoffs because he fucked over the Bucks that year with the whole, yeah, you like that.
Fuck. I hate it.
I still hate it.
Nobody likes that.
No, not at all. Steelers are going Rodgers or bust. It would make sense because
I said the same thing.
Yeah, if you don't get one of the top tier quarterbacks, go with Haskins or go with somebody because the draft, like the quarterbacks coming out of the draft after that, you got Bryce Young out of Alabama, Ogulawe, I think from Clemson, Stroud from Ohio State. Like next year is right now the quarterback draft, but
so Kirk Cousins took them to the playoffs once.
Okay. And then lost. They won that game against Seattle.
The Saints. No,
I think there's major provisions in that contract for him, like winning the Super Bowl, and it's like, buddy, you can't even get there.
Wait, he beat the Saints?
In 2019, he beat the Saints and lost to the Niners.
Yeah, I remember that was that last second catch by Stephon Diggs.
No, that was 2017 in Minnesota.
Oh, was it?
That's why. That's what had me confused. I'm like, he wasn't the one that threw it to Diggs. It was Keenum.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And it's still my favorite call of all time. Like I know there's been many of great calls but my favorite is still Joe Buck with the Stephon Diggs call. That was
a crazy ending to that game.
That was, and that's why his call on it is so good because he's like, this game is over. He's just talking about it. And then like you can hear it in his voice and like his whole body within a snap of a second. Diggs! I was like, yes. Thank you.
I still like the call when the Cardinals beat the Packers in overtime a few years ago when they threw that 5-yard pass to Fitzgerald and he ran
the shovel pass.
No, like I'm talking the play before when he like ran it down and just ran through everybody. That call was pretty great. The shovel pass is good too, but the call on that play was great.
My favorite. I still like. No shot. I still think they should have won that one. But my favorite Larry Fitzgerald memory is when he caught the slant pass in the Super Bowl and went right through Troy Polamalu and the other guy. And you see them coming in, and I was like, oh, and then he gets through, and you're like, yeah, fuck the Steelers. And then
we don't talk about the end. Then we don't talk about it.
No, we don't. Not for respect for you.
I'm angry enough at hockey. Don't get me angry about the past now. Like I'm angry enough with the fact we're going to lose 5-2 today to Calgary.
I do beg to do. I think this
with Koskinen in net, we lose 5-2.
Koskinen is going to fight. Koskinen is going to go like first period, drop the gloves, literally just skate straight towards Jacob Markstrom.
Who's going to play goalie? The spirit of Joey Moss? Probably stop more pucks.
Stuart Skinner.
Oh, yeah, I guess he's in as a backup. I would like to see him start tonight, personally.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't care if he's coming off COVID protocol. Get in there. Better than fucking Costa win.
I was going to say, who is your favorite baseball team? I've never asked you that, I don't think.
Me, Blue Jays.
It is Blue Jays? Okay.
Yeah, Blue Jays.
And to anybody out there, I am a Cardinals fan, but just like basketball, I respect the fuck out of the Blue Jays. If you think I won't ever cheer for the Blue Jays, you're wrong. This is Canada. The Raptors and the Blue Jays just are inevitably in my blood.
Yeah, when I started actually like watching baseball, paying attention to them. Well, I'm like I was like when I first started watching baseball, I was more just like I liked watching certain players, I liked watching whatever certain games, and then it was like, well, I may as well cheer for the Jays, like only Canadian team, might as well, kind of thing, right? Yeah. So.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, Alex is a Tigers fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine.
I was like this. They made a lot of moves this offseason. I think we're pushing playoffs again. This year.
Fuck yeah. My Cardinals are just getting rid of like all the old guys and trying to bring in some of the great talent that's out there, which is
we like a lot of our young guys. We had one of the top 5 farm systems. A lot of those guys are finally coming up.
Oh yeah.
And then we signed Javier Baez in free agency to play shortstop for us.
What was that? I saw a meme about the Tigers or whatever. Like the last 3 World Series winners or something. Their ace pitcher was used to be a Tigers prospect or something.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Scherzer for the Dodgers. We had Verlander.
Verlander
won it. It was.
There's 3 or 4, I think, even too. We went in 4.
Well, yeah, because when the Red Sox won it a few years ago, David Price was had been on the team before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. The Dodgers fucking had 2 or 3 of our old aces this year. It was ridiculous.
But that's what happens in baseball. People just when they see the news, they're like, these prospects have been traded. It's just I don't want to see prospects traded on my screen. I want to see what fucking prospects are traded, you asshole.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden I can know later on who's going to start being good.
The Jays frustrate me. Until last year, they're so tight pocketed, and then they're like, "Oh, these players that we didn't want to pay millions went on to win the World Series."
Shit.
Yeah, man. That's how that works. If you pay them, they play ball.
Also, I know the Kansas City Royals won that World Series that year, but shout out to the Blue Jays of what was that, 2014 or whatever? Fucking 2014 or 2016.
A little bit more recent than that.
The Jose Bautista, Josh Donaldson.
Yeah, that was 2015, I think.
2015. Okay, that run was awesome, man.
I think that was 2015.
The 7th inning and the Bautista bat flip, that was some fun. Yeah. That's when baseball is fun. So shout out to them.
Playoff. I can't watch 182 baseball games. I love baseball, but I can't do it. Playoff baseball, I'll watch every fucking game. Every game. Playoff baseball is fucking nuts.
How could they put a team around him? Because Rodgers should have took less money like Brady has done in his entire career. I think
there's tons of talent that's been there the entire time.
Yep. And looking at
defense,
the market, seeing comparatively what Brady has made to Rodgers, Brady has made a lot of money outside of football, so he doesn't need the money from football. Whereas, for example, people are like, well, what about the Mannings? The Manning used the NFL for every dollar that it had so that they can go purchase their own team, which is exactly what they're trying to do right now. Yeah. People have different things that they do. All Shaq's money that he makes right now, he buys extravagant things and he does all this stuff. And he even told his kids, when I die, my wealth is gone. That sucks to be you. You got to make it on your own kind of thing. Though, we all know behind the scenes, it's probably there's a little bit for you. They're going
to get the stuff that he owns.
Yeah. What's that?
He's not leaving them money. He's leaving them.
He's the epitome of you can't take money to the grave with you. He just spends, buys whatever he wants.
Well, and that's the thing. How many times a year do we hear Shaq went to Walmart, saw this girl struggling, and he's like, "Fuck it, you and you and you and you." Everyone's getting laptops and stuff like that. It's that's if I'm ever to get any type of wealth to me, that's literally what I've said I'm going to do. I'm just going to anytime I'm going somewhere and someone's struggling, they're being helped. Because that's how you make the world better. You can't go and make everyone better. There's no sum of money that's going to fix everyone's problems out there in the world. Bezos, it's going to help though. But there is ways that in just everyday life that you can help people, and whether it's with wealth or just even opening a door, like I've said before too. So, or here in Canada, buying somebody's Timmy's.
Well, just being nice to people. It costs nothing to be kind, right?
No. It's the one thing you can teach your kids growing up too, which is
want to be a good human being. Put your fucking grocery cart back in the corral. Jesus, I hate people who don't. You leave your grocery cart in the middle of the parking lot, you're a piece of shit.
Now, the only time, if you are a mom and you got the kids and you've already put the groceries in and your kids are strapped up and you are way far away from one of those, please just put it near one of the light posts where you are kind of at the back of the thing, and you are excused if you had to park over there. Usually that's the reason they have the parking spots up at the front for you.
I suppose.
But if for some little
I'm talking more, I'm talking more about my generation, people my age, mid-20s, go to the grocery store, grocery full, bunch of guys, grocery cart full of food, and then they just leave. It's bro, just put it away.
What are you doing? Why do you
just
do
put it
this?
away? That's more the people that I'm referring to, because my generation is just a terrible group of people.
And me as a person that's always just in the middle, I'm in any aspect, usually say with the carts, this is all these people are assholes. Yeah, 99% of them, but that single mom or whatever, she's excused.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah. Like, yeah. Even me.
I'm more referring to the people that are just like I said, it's like a bunch of guys, a bunch of roommates that are at the grocery store getting food.
I did it one time.
Away, bro.
I did it one time.
You went to the gym today and moved like 7,000 pounds worth of weights. You can fucking put a grocery cart back.
And just because you chose to live in Canada and you went to Walmart doesn't excuse you from getting your cart over all those humps, buddy. Like, settle down.
Yeah.
But like, even
I just park near the corral every time. I just like park beside it.
Yep,
it's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, I just find a spot near the corral.
In my city up here in Fort Sask, where the corral is, they have one normal parking spot like on the right side of it, and then the rest is all the mobile, and then the kid and all that kind of stuff. Everyone thinks that spot is a mobile pickup, and I'm like, suckers, every fucking time. I love it. 2019, they made the playoffs. Oh,
2019, 2017, 2015, yeah.
Smoke a fatter joint, all that anger will go away. When Chris smokes, he only takes like maybe one or two, because I've seen Chris high, and it's funny.
When did you see me high?
Wait, the one time we got to smoke outside of Wild Wings there for the draft. You had like 2 puffs of the joint. And you were
maybe.
Yeah, you were fine. You were like, no, I'm good. So. Buck Skull Gang in the house. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yakin's here. Can't wait to see the Bucks lose. You said that last week too, buddy. It's good to see you, though. Thanks for tuning in. Any news yet on Jensen and Wirfs? Alex,
they're both questionable.
We talked about Wirfs a couple times, I think.
Yeah.
I've been keeping an eye on Twitter, but I haven't seen anything yet.
No, they're both questionable. We don't know anything about it.
We got the game starting in about 33 minutes, it looks like, too, for the Titans and Bengals.
Henry's out there warming up, looking normal.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get this TV on here and get that going once I make sure the kids are all good. Joe Montana is the real GOAT. I mean, I've said it before, too. For a while there, when Brady only had 4, I'm like, he's lost in the Super Bowl and stuff like that. And at least Joe Montana was 16-0 when it comes to TDs to touchdowns, or TDs to interceptions. So, but that is definitely over now. It is definitely Brady is the GOAT. So, Playoff Lenny is back. Let's go. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I've been waiting for that. Only because I was going to put Vaughn over 50 yards again, but that's not happening. Let's go, Playoff Lenny. Bruce Arians is a bully who abuses players like AB and Adams. Chris, is this just your YouTube account? Like,
no, because I wouldn't be cheering for the Rams to beat the fucking Bucks.
Yeah, no shit. Just saw a clip. Fournette is playing Sunday. Woohoo! Fuck yeah! And then Johnny says Wirfs and Jensen will play
again. Johnny, I'll believe it when I see it.
I know.
Wirfs is going to play. Jensen's going to play, I believe, because he came back in and played just fine.
Yep.
Wirfs, though, yes, I see your thing, Johnny. They practiced Friday.
Yeah.
To me, Wirfs practicing one day doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play. I'll believe it when I see him on the field.
Yeah. I'm hoping that everybody's healthy, because again,
I hope so too.
This is not just like last year. Alex knows this too well, because he actually saw me last year. I was emotionally okay playing the Washington football team. I was not emotionally okay playing the fucking Aints. All. I am not emotionally okay for tomorrow. All right. I'm not emotionally okay for this game whatsoever.
So we talked about like the gambling, but who do you guys got today to win? Just straight up to win, not against the spread, not against who do you got to win today?
I got the 2 road teams. I got Bengals, Niners.
I'll take Titans and Packers.
I got Bengals, Packers.
Okay. Yeah, so we're all different on this one. So
yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the show for today. I got to go make sure the kids are all good, because the fiance's got to work here in a little bit. And we are also getting ready for the football game on today. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Chris, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Dubsauce55, or same thing on Twitch at Dubsauce55. Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, you can find me and Alex here on North Sports Dynasty. But Alex, tell them where they can find you.
So you can find me on Twitter at LooseMore65. And you can find me Thursday nights with Johnny Dean on the NFL edition here on Bucks Report.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm also here on Saturdays live here at NSD. You can also find me live from the cheap seats on Sunday nights, where I am either going to be very, very happy this Sunday night, or I am not going to be live at all. 'Cause I'm not dealing with that shit. No, I'm kidding. I'll definitely be live.
I was like, if I don't see you on, I'll be like, where are you?
Yeah, I'll have everyone message me and be like, yo, live from the cheap seat supposed to be here. What the fuck? Again, much love to everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. We will catch you next week. Tune in tomorrow night for me. Tune in next week for Alex in the NFL edition. And go Bucks, go Bucks, go Bucks. Much respect to our Cardinals fan here. We will see them next year in the playoffs. Don't you worry.
Oh, wow.
And we'll eventually get to the Lions.
Couple years.
So Alex will still be here live when the Lions eventually get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So thank you all very much.
We'll all have gray hair, but we'll be here.
Yeah. Thank you all very much. We'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao for now.